Dan Rayburn is with us, streaming media analyst, and Seema Shah, Senior Director of Investor Research at Sensor Tower. Seema Shah, I'll start with you. I think when you see the 13 million and just the fact that Netflix is doing just fine on the sharing, which now they're saying is more of the norm way of business. They have the ad tier. It all seems to be working. Is Netflix in a field of its own?
Yeah, thank you for having me, Nicole. Yeah, so based on Sensor Tower numbers, Netflix is really outperforming. And one thing the company mentioned very frequently was the level of engagement. Its level of engagement with its audience is significantly higher than its streaming peers. They spend more time on the app. They open the app more frequently in the month, maybe 14% compared to high single digits for the competitors. Their churn is significantly lower. So what that means is because it has such a strong, engaged consumer, it's able to be more valuable for advertisers. And as they grow that ad platform, that's what we're going to continue to see. Now, in this chart, we're showing how streaming has fewer hours engaged than the short form video, which is obviously with TikTok and Instagram very popular. And Netflix did call that out as a potential competitor, but also commented that they're going to stay focused on in their business, right? Pay TV, film, and games. And I think as they continue to do that with their engagement and the way they've developed their content, they'll continue to outperform. And games, all the different divisions have done really well based on Sensor Tower numbers.
And so with that, I mean, it was very exciting, too. We had the double piece of news that they were going to be bringing over WWE's Raw over to Netflix, and it showed the interest that they have in live streaming, in sports and entertainment. Dan, what'd you think of that? We even had The Rock here yesterday with Ari Emanuel right here at the New York Stock Exchange ringing the bell. It was pretty exciting, but it shows that commitment, doesn't it?
Yeah, I saw that. It was a great segment. I think the key thing here in the WWE deal is this is not about sports, right? This is about scripted entertainment. And I think we have to be really careful. What did Netflix call it? They called it sports, close to sports content, right? Similar to sports, but it wasn't actually live sports is the way they referred to it. So it's scripted entertainment. I think it's an amazing deal for them. They're expanding out the Netflix brand to a lot of other regions. I think that's smart. It's 3 hours of live programming a week right now. We'll see if that expands. It gives people a reason to come back to Netflix every week at a certain time. Just think of what Amazon's doing with Thursday Night Football, getting users to come back every Thursday at a specific time. So I love the WWE deal, and I think something to keep in mind here, Nicole, is the fact that they have such great cash flow. It allows them to invest in content in a very different way than a lot of other OTT services who, from a direct-to-consumer standpoint, are still losing a lot of money. So for Netflix to project $6 billion of free cash flow this year, they expect to spend about $17 billion on content overall. They are really in the driver's seat at this point above everybody else.
And so, Dan, just quickly, when you think about the everybody else, because Wall Street Journal noted the insurmountable lead pretty much that Netflix has over the others. Netflix 260 million, Prime Video 200 million, Disney 150 million, Max 95, Paramount 63, Hulu 48, Peacock 30. Do you see, Dan, any of those sort of picking up some steam? Maybe the ones we'll talk about in 2024?
Well, they will. I'm glad you broke down the numbers. Thanks. I don't have to. They definitely will. But it's also, we have to do an apples to apples comparison here. And Netflix is very different. They get 100% of all their revenue from what? One thing, a streaming service, right? Disney, Amazon, the others we know have a very diversified business stream. So it's not a fair apples to apples comparison. Will some others pick up steam? Absolutely. Are they going to get to 260.2 million subs like Netflix has at the end of last year? No, but they don't need to get to that number to be successful either. They just need to get to free cash flow first and foremost.
Seema, what are we leaving out? I mean, I think the ad tier part seems to be working. In fact, they're thinking about getting rid of the lowest ad tier. What's your final thought here? I want to make sure we hit what it is that you have on your mind.
Okay, so for what our data shows, our digital advertising data, we can see that Netflix's advertising spend on its network has jumped significantly quarter over quarter. In Q4, 30% of the advertisers on the platform were new, so it continues to grow. And you can see the categories here broken down, how they have continued to attract advertisers. And I think that's very important because this is going to be, their next revenue stream. And it goes back to the engagement and how they've managed to create content and create a relationship with their users that makes them a valuable platform compared to many other advertising platforms. And then, as we said, games continues to also be strong. It's growing. We saw gaming downloads of their portfolio of games up 180% in 2023. 53% of those downloads came in December when it released GTA. So I think those kinds of deals and creating that type of content that continues to connect with the user makes the whole platform valuable, but particularly the ad platform for the advertisers themselves.
All right, great to see you both. Thank you so much.
Thank
Dan
you.
Rayburn, streaming media analyst, Seema Shah, Sensor Tower. Thank you.